Hello, in this video we're discussing Krista Gaines, federal number 544-27177. Krista was sentenced to 151 months on a possession charge. She actually did not have possession of the drugs. She accompanied her boyfriend of 2 months to a drug deal. He was selling drugs to an undercover agent during that time. She was watching his daughter. I believe they were in the pool area at the time. We believe that this sentence is excessive. She needed treatment, rehabilitation. She needed help. She was a struggling addict. She wasn't profiting from this stuff financially. There's a change.org petition in the description of this video. We ask that you would click that. Please sign it for her, asking for some sort of relief from her sentence, that the president would commute her sentence. We ask that you would share the video, you would subscribe to the channel, click the bell, hit all as other stories come about, as other situations happen. We just ask that everybody would get involved. We're not saying that she didn't deserve a punishment, but 12 and a half years is excessive for that situation. We appreciate everybody's effort and all of the support that we've been getting. We're incredibly grateful. Thank you and God bless. Hello?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
All right.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. This is being recorded. This is for a video for Krista Gaines. Her federal number is 544-27177. What is your name?
Beverly Butler.
And what is your relationship to Krista?
I'm her mother.
Could you tell us a little bit about Krista as a young person? What was she like growing up? What kind of dreams or aspirations did she express to you guys? What did you see in her?
Well, she had mentioned several times that she wanted to be a nurse because she loves to help people. She's a very caring person, very loving, very generous, full of energy. So she full of life is all I can say. I mean, we're just going and doing things all the time athletically. She loves sports, and she excelled at all the sports that she was in.
That's good.
But she was a happy child. She's a real happy, little girl.
Where do you feel like things started to go wrong for her?
I think that happened when she started hanging out with older people and the wrong type of people. She was easily influenced and wanted to be accepted into what they were doing. So I think that was probably the beginning of her problems.
And when you had heard that she was indicted, how did you get that information? What was your reaction to it? And what happened then?
Well, I was very shocked that she was indicted because the night that she got into trouble, she was not arrested. Just the friend that she was with, he was arrested. And as a matter of fact, she was down at the swimming pool. She was more or less babysitting, his daughter, and while he was making, this transaction. And so, anyway, I was shocked because she was not arrested that night, and 2 weeks later they come back and she's, indicted. So, I was very, very shocked that had happened.
What was her role in that charge?
Well, they charged her with the same thing that they charged her friend with, and none of those drugs were hers, and she had only gone with him this one time because he wanted her to watch his daughter while he was in this motel room making a drug transaction. And so Krista was at the pool, and so anyway, when that all happened, they came to the pool. The federal agents came to the swimming pool and told her to get out, and she didn't even know what was going on up there. So anyway, he was arrested and went to jail. But Krista, she came home, and we didn't think anything about these charges being put on her until 2 weeks later. And so it was very disturbing, and I was very upset about it.
When she was indicted, was there ever a discussion about how much time she was facing, or uh, what the outcome of it might be?
Uh, no, the time that she would be doing was really never discussed. Um, the first attorney that we had, he was court appointed, and he said that she could be facing up to 20 years.
Wow.
But Krista was really adamant about wanting to take this to trial because she knew that she was innocent in this charge. She was just at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Hmm.
So anyway, the court-appointed attorney just didn't seem like he was going to fight for her. So we fired him and then hired another attorney. And then when we had our appointment with him, he sounded like it was going to be a piece of cake, you know. He said, I might be able to drop these charges. And because, you know, we told him that none of those drugs were Krista's. Krista never profited anything off of any drug sale. She was never a drug dealer. She was just a drug user. She was addicted to methamphetamines, and I believe, you know, when she would go with these older guys, that's why, because she knew that they could, you know, help her, or not help her, but they would give her the drugs that she needed, and so they were there, so she would, you know, date these men that were drug dealers.
Right.
So
when you guys had found out who her judge was there any discussions about who her judge was?
her charge, is that what you said?
No, her judge.
When we first found out who her judge was, Krista had already heard about this judge, and she was just very, very scared and very upset about this because his reputation, you know, is the hangman judge around here. And so she was just very nervous, and she was just hoping, you know, that her attorney was going to represent her in the way that he should have, but he didn't. And he just, it was like he was just in it for the money, more or less, because he made no objections whatsoever during the sentencing. And there were so many things in her PSR report that were not true. And I went down there to bring that to his attention, and he just would say, oh, it doesn't matter, you know. But it did matter because it was my daughter's life, you know, her freedom that we were, you know, in question about here.
Absolutely.
So, but he didn't fight for her at all. And so, and as a matter of fact, you know, he said, you know, if you take this to trial, he said, you know, it's very possible that you'll get 20 years. So it would be best if you pled guilty. And if you get anything, you know, it's probably just going to be maybe 2 or 3 years.
Oh, wow.
2 to 4 years, I think is what he said. And so anyway, when they came back, you know, or when during her sentencing, and the judge, you know, when he said 12 years, my knees just buckled. I mean, it was just devastating. Could not believe it at all, you know, that this was happening.
Can you walk us through that? Like when you were there at sentencing, correct?
Yes, I was there, and all of my family was there also.
Can you walk us through that? What that was like, and then what happened when she was sentenced?
Well, of course, you know, we were there for several hours, waiting, you know, for her turn. And, you know, I was feeling, you know, that at the most she would get 5 years is what I had, you know, in my mind. And I could tell, you know, by looking over at Krista, she was very nervous too. And so anyway, when it was finally, you know, her time to go up before the judge, she had written a letter to the judge telling him, you know, she was accepting responsibility for her minimal role in this crime. And so it was a very nice letter that she had written to the judge. And then when the judge asked her attorney, you know, what did he have to say, you know, about Krista? And the only thing that he said, well, she's a very nice young lady, and I enjoyed working with her. And so I thought, oh my gosh, you know, he didn't make any objections to the mistakes in the PSR report. So therefore, the judge is looking at this as Krista, she pled guilty, so she's guilty. That's the way I guess he was looking at it.
Right.
And so, anyway, when he said, the 12 years, I was just devastated. My whole family was devastated, and Krista she had the most disappointing look on her face. It was just really sad.
Krista, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, we were very anxious to talk to her attorney after the sentencing, and he didn't even have time to talk to us because he said he had to get to another trial. So he didn't, there was no words of any type of encouragement as to what, maybe we could do or he could do. So anyway, we just all went home very upset and very disappointed, real disappointed.
Krista has a child, correct?
Yes, she does.
What is it?
She has a son. Excuse me?
No, go ahead.
Anyway, my niece, she adopted her son because Krista wanted him to have the best life possible, and at the time, she could not give him that. So my niece adopted her son, and Krista is very much involved, with their life. Krista can go and see Landon at any time, and we keep in touch all the time, go to the birthday parties, holidays, and, we can go out there anytime to see Landon. So it's a really good relationship that we all have, with her, my niece.
What has it been like since sentencing as far as communication goes with you and Krista or Krista and the family? How has that been?
Well, she went to Aliceville, Alabama. That's where she was first. That was the first prison that, she went to. And she was there for about a year, and my sister and I, we went up there to visit her, and it was very, very hard leaving. And so she put in that she wanted to transfer to Carswell because that is close to where we live. So since she's been at Carswell, every Sunday, my sister and myself, or sometimes just me, somebody goes to see her every Sunday.
That's good.
And, of course, we talk on the phone, and then we do the core links, and email each other.
So,
but I haven't got to see her in, several weeks now because of this corona thing.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's been really tough.
Yeah, but she's been programming. Ever since she got to Aliceville, she started immediately into programming. She got her GED because she did not finish high school.
That's good.
So she got her GED, and she just finished a program that was 18 months long, a faith-based program. She's done with that, and she has a job there at the prison in the maintenance department, facilities, I believe. And so she's been learning, a lot of things, painting, taping bedding and things like that. But I guess she's just going to keep programming. She said it makes the time go by, a little faster.
Right.
That's by doing that. But she's never gotten in trouble since she's been there. She likes everyone. Everyone likes her.
So the purpose of this video is to give people an idea about what is happening out of that district. There's been a lot of cases that we've come across where individuals have been sentenced to harsher sentences than they would have been in other counties or in front of other judges, and we believe Krista is one of those cases. So we're asking the people in the community to get involved. There's a change.org petition in the description of the video. They can, if you go to the description of this video, if you can click that link and sign the petition, we're asking the president to commute her sentence or give her some sort of relief from such an extensive sentence. To all the people that we're asking to support your daughter, to give her a second chance, what do you have to say to them?
I just want to tell everyone that that I appreciate, your concern with this, and I would appreciate it very much if y'all would share this, because Krista didn't deserve all this time. And I just want everyone to know that she's a good person, and I know that she's going to move forward with her life once she gets, home. And I mean, I've been every day. I go into the federal, some type of federal website. I'm, trying to gain knowledge and wisdom as to, how I can, help her. And I'm constantly, thinking, what can I do? I mean, who do I reach out to, help her get this sentence reduced where she can, have a future and it won't be, too late, or too old or whatever. I mean, it's just 12 years is a long time. And, I mean, it's just been devastating as a parent to be away from your child, especially when they're sick. You want to be there, and it's just been really hard for me and, her whole family. And I just want to thank everyone.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us and letting us in on how you felt and how you are feeling. We are going to get this posted and edited soon here. So, again, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello?
You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. This call is from Krista Gaines, an inmate at a federal prison. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. Hang up to decline the call or to accept. Dial 5 now. If you wish.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Krista. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. We are recording this for your video. If I could just get a little bit of background information from you. What is your full name?
Krista Nicole Gaines.
And what is your register number?
544-27177.
And what is the mailing address for the facility that you're at?
P.O. Box 27137, Fort Worth, Texas 76127.
And that's in, you said Fort Worth, Texas?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have children?
Excuse me?
Do you have children?
Yes, sir.
How many children?
I have one son.
How old is he?
He'll be 7 this year.
When you were younger, did you have any dreams or aspirations about what you wanted to do or become?
Well, I always wanted to be a nurse because I've always loved helping people.
And where do you feel like things started to go wrong for you from that age to your current situation? Where do you feel like things started to head south?
Well, when I was younger, I guess I started hanging out with the wrong crew, and I got addicted to methamphetamine at the age of 13.
Wow.
Yeah, and around then, so then I started getting with older men to basically support my drug habit.
So how did this indictment come about? What was your involvement, or what was your role in it?
Well, I was dating this man who was nearly 20 years old. This call is from a federal prison. That was nearly 20 years older than me. I was with him for about 2 months, and of course he sold drugs. And I went with him one time, and it was a setup. And I was in the hotel room for about 5 minutes. And anyways, no drugs or anything was brought out when I was in the hotel room. And the cops came, and we all got arrested.
So your involvement in this conspiracy was for 2 months?
I was with him for 2 months, but in reality, I went with him one time. We're on a possession charge, so it was yes, for possession, but for one time there was a year investigation on him, but for me being there one time for like basically 5 minutes, I got 151 months.
Wow. When you were indicted, what was there ever a conversation about how much time you were going to receive, or was there any clue as to how much time you were going to get?
Well, when I first got indicted, I had a court-appointed attorney, and he told me that I was looking at 20 years. So I got real scared. My family did too, and so we hired a lawyer, paid attorney, and anyway, he told me I would get anywhere to 4 to 6 years.
So, had you heard of McBride prior to sentencing?
Yeah, my cousin, he had McBride, and he also was sentenced a real harsh sentence over drugs.
So, was there a conversation as you got closer to sentencing about what to expect or what was going to happen?
Yeah, like all the girls who I was in jail with, they just basically told me that, he throws out life sentences, that he's harsh, that he's the worst judge you could ever get, and basically I was screwed.
So when sentencing comes about, can you walk us through that? What was that like? Who was there? And how did it, what happened when he gave you the sentence?
When I walked in, my whole family was there, and of course I was shackled up. I was really scared. Everything felt like a dream. And McBride, he was real short. They asked for my family to stand up, and he didn't even ask them to talk on my behalf or nothing. He just seemed real rude and short, and he would hardly make any eye contact with me, but you could tell the man held power, and I was just scared.
So walk us through what happened. What happened? Did he say anything to your family, or what happened?
No, he was just real short, and I don't know, it was just so surreal for me, and everything just felt like a dream. But when he gave me my sentence, I felt like I was going to pass out. It's crazy.
Were you able to talk to your family afterwards?
No, they wouldn't let me talk to them afterwards, but I did get to give them like a speech, like to the courts. They asked me if I had anything to say, and I did. And I basically told everyone that I was sorry and that they gave me that chance to speak up. But yeah.
So what has it been like since then for your family, as far as visitation or being able to see your child? How has all that been?
Well, when they first sent me to prison, they sent me all the way to Alabama, and I got 2 visits while I was there. Which one was for my son and my cousin, who actually has my son. She adopted him. She has custody of him, but I'm still in his life. And the other one's for my mother. But since I've been here at Carswell, which is in Fort Worth, that's where I live, I've been getting visits every week. But it's still very hard on them. They hate to see me here, and it's just put a real strain on them.
Absolutely. So what have you been doing since you've been incarcerated? What have you been doing to better yourself, or to put yourself in a position to come out a better person?
I've been programming the whole time since I've been in prison. I've been taking classes. I am actually graduating this month on the 16th from a faith-based program. It was 18 months long. It's called Life Connections Program.
That's great.
And but yeah, I've just been programming and working, and I work in facilities with maintenance, and I've just been trying to stay busy and stuff.
So the purpose of this video is we're drawing attention to the individuals who've been sentenced to excessive sentences, and for somebody who didn't have an active role in this conspiracy, for you to be somebody that was present, somebody that was obviously trying to support a habit, not pursue some lifelong financial gain. 151 months is very difficult to imagine needing that much time to rehabilitate or change your life. So in the description of the video, there's going to be a change.org petition asking for some sort of relief from your sentence. To the people that we're asking to sign that are going to sign for you to get a second chance, what do you have to say to them?
Well, I've been in prison for nearly 4 years, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't regret the choices that I've made. But also this 4 years, I've learned a lot. I've had a lot of time to reflect on my past, and I see where I went wrong. I've been taking different courses and self-help classes to help me change the way I think and help me make better choices for when I go home. I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm ready to just be a better mother and daughter, just a better person overall.
Absolutely. Well, I just want to thank you for your time, and there's a difference between courtrooms. It seems like in McBride's court, they receive longer sentences than individuals from other states or other districts, and that's another reason why we're asking for some relief from your sentence, because it's not fair that just because you're assigned a certain judge that you should receive more time. An equal scenario, no matter where you're from, no matter who you are. So we appreciate your time. We thank you for sharing your story with us. We're going to be in contact with one of your loved ones to do another interview, and then we will be in contact soon.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for watching the video. We just pray that you would get involved, that you would share the video, you would sign the petition, that you would ask others to share and sign the petition. We've been incredibly grateful for all the support and help that we've received from the community with these individuals and other people that have reached out with their stories. We can really make a difference. 12 years is way too long. Thank you all, and God bless.